Hey everybody, Megan here. Asked all the time because everybody keeps hearing that you need to niche down. You need to niche down. You need to be more specific. You need to talk to a more specific audience. So I want to talk about what does that mean? What does it mean to niche down? Because if you are not in a course or a program or have any guidance on that, you may just kind of be floundering like, what does it mean to niche down? What do I need to do? So in general, niching down means to get super, super specific on the work that you do. But it could also mean who you do the work for, or it could mean both. So it doesn't necessarily mean the specific industry that you work with. It could be the specific tasks that you do, or it could be the specific type of business owner that you work with. So, what does that mean specifically in the bookkeeping industry? Because it's something that I actually struggled with quite a bit when I first started, thinking that I wasn't niching down in the proper way. Hey, Melissa, how are you? So what I did when I very first got started, I was like a lot of people offering everything. I was offering social media. I was offering general virtual assistant services. I was offering bookkeeping because I knew I wanted to incorporate that. But I was offering like all these things, and I was putting it out there, like either bullet pointing it down and saying, "Hey, every business owner in the world, I could do anything in the world for you," because that's what a lot of people think. They think that they can cast this wide net and it's for sure going to catch some fish. But that's not actually how it works in the online space. Because people that hire online, they want to hire people that know what they're doing, they want to hire professionals. And so if you're saying, I do this, and I do this, and I do this, and I do this, and there are all these different directions, they're going to think that you just kind of do a mediocre job at several things. They're not going to think that you're an expert at one thing. So you want to really, really niche down in what you're doing. Now, that's not to say you have to do one thing. You don't have to only do bookkeeping. It may be a little bit easier to find that perfect bookkeeping client if you only do bookkeeping. But if you really want to offer bookkeeping and social media or bookkeeping and copywriting, you can do it. But just know that for someone looking for a bookkeeper or for someone looking for a copywriter, they may go with the person that only offers that one thing because they're going to assume that if you offer one thing, you are an expert at that one thing. That's the assumption that comes into play. So if you are advertising that you do, let's say you're advertising that you do bookkeeping and copywriting, but you want to niche it down even more, you could offer just specific types of bookkeeping services and specific types of copywriting services. That's something you could do. You could say, well, I only do, transaction categorization, which is going to save you money on taxes. And I do, bank reconciliations, which is going to make sure it's accurate and compliant. That's the basics. So I do that bookkeeping stuff, but I also do, I can, write your website sales page. So that's like three things. So you could prove, if you have the right kind of copywriting, which you should if you're a copywriter, you can prove that you're an expert in those three things. And I think that that can work. But let's take and I'm trying to be generous to the people that want to do multiple things, but let's kind of take it back to just bookkeeping. So if you want to, you're offering bookkeeping and you think that you want to niche it down even more, what are some options for you? You can choose to niche down to only specific services, or you could choose to niche down to specific industries. So let's say that you want to do bookkeeping for construction companies. You want to do bookkeeping for law firms. You want to do bookkeeping for mental health professionals, something like that. You can do that, but that's an option. You don't have to do that. A third option is you can set a specific type of client in mind. So you may say, I do bookkeeping for, I'll use a colleague of mine that doesn't even do bookkeeping, but she targets heart-based entrepreneurs. So these are people that have a passion for life, have a passion for their work. She specifically does social media strategies for heart-based entrepreneurs. So she targets people that are into, holistic living, into vegan, into yoga, into, chakra crystals and appreciating life. And so she really targets that type of person, not specifically the industry. She's not just yoga, she's not just vegan, but she wants people that are in industries that are for, enhancing life, into making life better. So that's something you could figure out, any type of terms that you want to use, as long as you're clear on what you're saying. Hey Jennifer, thanks for tuning in. You can say, I offer bookkeeping services to health professionals or entrepreneurs who care for individuals. I'm not a copywriter. I'm not good at that. But if you have a certain type of thing in mind, you can even go further with it. You can say a type of personality. You can say a type of a level of success that you want to reach. And that's not offensive. That won't offend people that are lower than that. That actually may still attract them, and it will attract people that are at that level. So you may say, I work with very successful female entrepreneurs. You can say very successful. You may say, I work with 6 and 7 figure female entrepreneurs. You can say, I just work with 7 figure. That's hitting the $1 million mark. I work with, I'm trying to think of a way that you can say kind, or that's kind of hard. Everybody wants to work with someone that's nice and kind, but specifically you may want to target people that are family oriented, family oriented 7-figure female business owners. That's very specific, but that's not to say that they are just in one type of industry, because you don't have to limit yourself that way. It is good to get specific. It's good to niche down, but you get to choose what that looks like. And you don't even have to do it right away. If you say you offer bookkeeping services, that is niched down. You are already saying that you are an expert in that space. You don't have to take it further. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. So I see a lot of people stuck on this. I see a lot of my students, especially in my group coaching, that get really stuck thinking they can't go ahead and start looking for clients because they need to get super specific on who they're talking to. Well, no, you can start out talking to business owners that need to hire a bookkeeper. That's already specific. You're not talking to business owners that need to learn bookkeeping, or business owners that are hurting in their bookkeeping aspect but aren't willing to hire. You're looking for business owners that are at least successful enough that they are willing to pay money for you to come help them in their business. So I just wanted to mention that. I know it's kind of a short training, but I think that hey Sherry, hey Joey, I think that can give you a really good idea of hopefully make you feel better and give you some guidance on if you really truly want to offer more than one service. So again, you can offer just bookkeeping. You can be very successful with just bookkeeping. But if you truly in your heart want to also offer social media, or I would say if you're going to say social media, get a little bit more specific with it, like Facebook group management or Instagram management, something like that. So you can do that, or copywriting, or Facebook ads, or anything like that. You can be really specific, but you need to be really clear on what in both of those realms you include. All right? So let me know if you have any questions at all. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey everybody, Megan here.